Most people fear silence, not because silence is empty, but because silence is honest. Silence does not distract you. It does not entertain you. It does not lie to you. Silence simply reveals. When everything goes quiet, there is no music to hide behind, no scrolling to escape into, no conversation to borrow identity from. There is only you and your thoughts. That moment, when the noise fades, is the moment many people rush to avoid, because silence asks questions they are not ready to answer. In silence, excuses begin to collapse. You start hearing the doubts you buried under productivity. You remember the dreams you postponed until later. You feel the weight of choices you delayed, and paths you never took. Silence brings clarity, but clarity can be uncomfortable. That is why the world is so loud. Noise is everywhere. Music in the background. Videos playing non-stop. Notifications demanding attention. Not because noise is necessary, but because it is comforting. Noise numbs responsibility. It creates the illusion of movement without progress. It makes you feel busy, even when nothing meaningful is changing. That's why many people stay busy. Not productive. Busy. Busy enough to avoid reflection. Busy enough to avoid asking hard questions. Busy enough to delay facing themselves. Silence interrupts that illusion. It slows everything down. It forces you to notice what you've been ignoring. In silence, you begin to realize certain truths. Some relationships are draining you more than they are nourishing you. Some goals you're chasing no longer belong to who you are becoming. Some fears controlling your decisions were never real to begin with. Silence reveals patterns. Patterns in your habits. Patterns in your thinking. Patterns in your avoidance. And once you see a pattern, you can no longer pretend it doesn't exist. That is why silence feels dangerous, because it removes excuses. Most people would rather stay distracted than become self-aware, because self-awareness demands responsibility. It asks you to admit where you are stuck and why. Silence does not judge you, but it does not protect you either. It simply holds up a mirror. And not everyone likes what they see reflected back. But here is the truth few people talk about. Silence is not your enemy. It is your teacher. The clarity you seek does not come from motivation. It does not come from inspiration. It comes from stillness. In silence, you learn what truly matters. You begin to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, between what feels good now and what will matter later. Silence teaches patience. It teaches discernment. It teaches emotional honesty. That is why the people who grow are rarely the loudest ones in the room. They are the ones who sit quietly, who listen, who observe, who think deeply before acting. They are comfortable being alone with their thoughts, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. If you feel uncomfortable in silence, don't rush to escape it. Don't fill it immediately with noise or distraction. Stay there. Sit with the discomfort. Because discomfort is often the doorway to understanding. The answers you are searching for are rarely hidden in more information. They are hidden in reflection. Silence shows you the truth. Before life is forced to. Before burnout demands rest. Before regret demands reflection. Before consequences demand awareness. Silence gives you the chance to choose differently, while you still can. So the next time everything feels quiet, don't be afraid. That quiet may be the most honest conversation you have ever had with yourself.